Welcome to Tamara Tattletales. I'm Tamara and I spill the tea on your favorite reality stars. Married at First Sight, Season 14, Boston. Child, at least half of these people are getting on my nerves already, and we are only on days 3 and 4 of the marriages. They open with Karen looking naked in the bed next to Mark. When the producers roll in, they ask her if they've consummated the marriage. Karen starts laughing like she was injected with laughing gas. Once she comes up for air, she says, "A lady never kisses and tells." Then she turns and spits tobacco in her shoe. They start talking about their day and how they're going to learn how to make pina coladas. Mark says, let's try something a little different. Let's explore a drink. That would be fun, but let's not have several because we don't want to have any repeat of day one, referring to her behavior on the plane that earned her the nickname of Karen. She says she thinks that happened because she was tired. Mark is like, you had 3 bottles of wine. She looks at him a little perplexed, like, and your point? Like, that's like a typical Tuesday afternoon for me. I'm not understanding what you're trying to tell me. So it's pina colada class. Karen takes a gulp of the drink and gets a brain freeze. And Mark starts showing off, put your tongue on your palate. Put your tongue on your palate. I learned that on TikTok. Okay, no, he didn't say that part. So it's Mark's turn to make a pina colada. He puts on his sunglasses, trying to be cool. Okay, I see you over there, 21 Jump Street. Karen says, I love that Mark can loosen up and have fun, but I gotta class him up a bit. Vinny the Guido. Spoken like a true debutante. They sit down and exchange dating horror stories. Karen says she's dated a bunch of engineers and has concluded that all of them are cheaters, liars, and thieves. Mark talks about one of his exes. He said there was an emotional side to her when she drank. It went from I love you to I'm in love with you to I don't love you. Sounds like history is about to repeat itself. They are eating breakfast in bed, and Picky Mickey starts right in with the picking apart of the relationship. He says, I feel like there has been distance between us. Compared to what? Compared to what? Picky, it's too early for this babble. It's the morning of day 3. So he's like, I feel like there's a distance between us, like since the wedding. I would have liked us to have made more progress in our connection. And part of the reason we are not where we should be is that I'm not the most talkative person, and I'm afraid of not putting 100% into this. Jazz tells him that she still can't get out of her mind what his sisters told her about him always thinking the worst. So he's tripping on the distance between them after only knowing each other for 10 minutes, and she's tripping on what his sisters told her about his negativity. So there's nowhere to go from here but down. He says the reason he's been single for a while is because he took some time off because he wasn't putting 100% into his previous relationships. You think you can put in 100% now when you've been single all this time? I'm trying to make sure that the person I'm with is seeing that I'm trying to put in 100%. So they both agree that he's overthinking their situation. Jazz lets him know that his overthinking can cause the relationship to fail. My question is, you took time off between relationships, but what did you do with that time? Because it doesn't sound like you put in the work to heal whatever's causing you to behave this way. So anyway, we fast forward to them sitting outside and they're still talking about his negativity. And Jazz is like, what do you think caused you to be this way? He says it's because he's had so much loss in his life. His mom, his dad, his brother, his grandmother, friends have passed, and it makes him look at life like something bad is going to happen. And Jazz is like, okay, I can see how that could happen. Some could look at life that way, and others can look at it like, since I've had so much loss, I'm going to make the most of every day. Picky asked her, does it make you nervous that I overthink things? Yes. Why? Besides the fact you just said it destroys all of your previous relationships? Come on now. She says it takes you out of being in the moment with me because you're focused on when is something bad going to happen rather than enjoying the moment you are in now. So Hostage is talking about her situation, sounding all hostagey. These are the cards I've been dealt, and I can't figure out why this happened to me. Like,
how this happened to me, and why me? Where did I go wrong in life to deserve this? Why did I get matched with the snaggletooth realtor? Where's my hot guy with the eagle tattoo? Why did the experts do this to me? Why am I here and not someone else? I'm such a nice person.
But I'm such a nice person. Chris thinks Hostage sees disagreement as disrespect, and I think he's onto something there. I think he's absolutely correct. He says he hasn't given up hope. He's not happy, but thinks there is still a chance. Now, the word on the street is that Hostage threw a fit and refused to sit next to him on the plane. So at this point, I don't even believe that his efforts are real. I mean, she can push him down a cliff, and once he makes it to the bottom with all his broken bones, he'll say, "Did you see that? She touched me. I think I have a chance." Chris and Hostage meet up to go paddleboarding. She says despite everything that's happened, she's trying to be the bigger person. We don't have to have drama and negativity. I don't want that. Wait, what? I think she just gaslighted all of us. If she were trying to be the bigger person, they would have slept in the same room together, sat next to each other on the plane, had more conversations on camera, and been honest with his family about her wedding night. Anyway, Chris kept falling in the water. She actually smiled and laughed with him, or at him, couldn't tell. After they were done paddleboarding, he tells her she really is a fun-loving person to be around. She said, "I just want to come off as united and that the experts didn't do this right, and that's what I'm upset about. They did not match either of us according to what we asked for, what we wanted."
You didn't get what you wanted. I wanted a hot muscular guy with tattoos and drives a Harley in the country who likes dogs. I didn't get what I wanted, and I don't think it's fair to me.
"Because I'm a nice person." She said before they got married, she went and saw a psychic, and that psychic gave very specific things about features and looks that her person will have. And he had very pretty eyes and an eagle tattoo. Now, according to someone on social media who claims to be one of Hostage's friends who was at the wedding, there was a guy at the wedding who matched the psychic description to a T, including the tattoo, and Hostage and the friends were amazed by the similarities, and so was the guy. It was one of Chris's friends. So we see them in their room eating. Noe says they haven't had sex yet, but it's coming sooner or later. Steve is sharing his camping dreams of being on the ocean, and Noe's like, "I don't like to camp." Uh-oh, Steve. Looks like your days of sleeping in Walmart parking lots are numbered. She said she doesn't like to sleep outside or take showers at campgrounds. He says, "Well, I still would like to take you camping on the beach." She said, "That's fine as long as we're indoors." Later, they discuss the awkwardness of pooping while married. "When do I get to poop in this marriage? Y'all don't have air freshener in Boston? Like a match? Burn a candle? Bake some cookies? I mean, come on." In the confessional cam, Noe admits that she's falling in love, and producers encourage her to go tell him, knowing good and well they're going to be stirring up some drama. So she goes over to him. "I was just talking to them over there, and they asked me if I feel like I'm falling in love with Steve. And I said it feels like it's slowly happening." Okay. He says, "I think we both agree that we both have strong feelings for each other. We talk a lot and we giggle. You know, it's all good." And Noe's like, check, please." First of all, I forgot at the wedding, they said his friends and family call him Tootie. So, since I'm on a roll with nicknames, why stop now? Tootie it is. Now, I know he said he got the name from the song Tutti Frutti, but Tootie from Facts of Life is funnier, so I'm rolling with that. So we see them walking into the gym, and Katina is like, "I'd rather be at the pool, but this is my husband's thing, so I'm going to do this with him because that's what I would want from him when it comes to things I enjoy." They get in there, and he is being a real extra with his training. "Be comfortable. Stop laughing. This is real. This is my element. I need you to respect this. You drop this, it's over. I'm taking off this ring. Stop giving up. There's no more of that for real. Smile. Enjoy it. Think about anything that bothers you. Tootie, you are bothering me." You are making her so miserable that she's not going to want to work out with you ever again. Katina said he has a strong personality. If she would have dated someone like him in her 20s, she would have cried. So this may end up being an issue. We see everyone piling into the catamaran of their little excursion. Tootie asks if anyone has consummated their marriage. Everyone looks around and Karen starts laughing. He said, "Okay, you don't have to say anything. That laugh pretty much says it all." Picky says, "Well, it's only been like, 3 days since we got married?" And Jess says, "I'm someone who wants to have an emotional connection with somebody first." Steve says he wants to respect Noe's boundaries, and she asks that they not tell when they do have sex. Grown folks afraid to admit that they're having sex with their spouses. I can see not wanting to put your business out there on the streets like that, but that's why you don't go on national television. So they show everyone enjoying themselves. Then we see Hostage splashing in the water, having a good old time, except she's wearing the bathing suit she had on yesterday when she went paddleboarding with Chris, which is not the same bathing suit she wore on the catamaran. Anyway, the ladies are in the boat chatting. They ask Hostage about her night, and she's like, I don't think I really need to talk about it. We've come to a good place.
We're here and want to make the best of the situation and do our best. I don't think they did a good job with the match. I don't like him. He's got a dad bob. I think I got the short end of the stick. I can't believe they stuck me with this guy.
But I'm a really nice person. Now move on to someone else. Karen says she never would have picked out like Mark in a bar and gone for him, but she feels like he's the perfect match for her. She like loves Mark. And guys are on the beach chatting, and Steve is freaking out because Noe said she's falling in love with him. Thinks it might be too soon. Yeah, well, everything about this experiment is too soon. Picky asks, how do you guys balance going with the flow and not putting too much pressure to go fast? Because he feels like he's creating issues where there aren't any. Steve says, when you find yourself doing that, pull back a little bit and wait for her to make the next jump. Yeah, thanks for telling the guy who has trouble being vulnerable to pull back. Oh my God, this is like we're at a restaurant with bad service. Can we get an expert to come to our table, please? Tootie admits to basically testing Katina while at the gym. He purposely made her do things he didn't even enjoy to see if she would speak up, and since she complained about those things, he's happy. What kind of reverse psychobabble nonsense is this? Let me make her miserable on purpose to see if she tells me she's miserable. Yeah, but the fact that you made her miserable could put doubt in her mind about you, Tootie. Mark is saying he's taking a step back and looking at the situation at the airport and not liking what he sees. Said Karen's dad told him he's got to reel her in. He's like, okay, I'll reel her in, but at some point she's got to stop doing that. Karen started talking about the airplane situation. She was triggered because she was with a guy who would lose his mind when he drank, and she was brought back to that place. Katina was squirming while Karen was talking. She was biting that tongue so hard, I think she drew blood. Finally, she said, you know you triggered yourself, right? Karen says, well, first of all, there are 3 sides to the truth. Yours, mine, and the truth. Well, your perception of the truth. Yeah, 3 sides of the truth. I don't care about no saying. You're talking about being triggered. I don't care what happened to you when you were 2 or 3 years old. Get the help you need to heal from that situation. But when you get liquored up, don't pass your issues on to other people. You're 35 years old. You're too old for that. He wouldn't have had that reaction if you would have stopped jabbing at him. You kept poking and poking at him. And then when he responded, you played victim. You are a manipulative person. That's really rude. I don't care if it's rude or not. You're rude. I think you have kindness in you, but I think you do a lot of weird, sneaky things on the side. Well, I guess when you get to see the show, you'll get to see the true me. I don't care about a show, and I'm not going to sit here and listen to this. So Karen shifts what Katina said to make herself the victim again and says, I don't know why she's upset with me. I just needed a moment to get myself together because I was triggered. Jazz is like, oh, Lord. She's not upset about you needing a moment. She's saying that you caused yourself to be triggered. If you would have pulled back, there would not have been anything for you to be triggered about. In her confessional, Karen still doesn't take responsibility for her role in that situation. Keep in mind, she had 3 bottles of wine, and the stewardess had to come over to her multiple times during the flight to ask her to calm down, put her mask on, and stop talking so loud. So on the ride back, Jazz happens to suggest that they play Never Have I Ever. I guess it's going to be part of the MAFS formula now. They did this last season on the honeymoon boat ride, which is how we learned that Rachel cheated on one of her exes. Anyway, instead of drinking, they decide to put a hand up and put a finger down if they have done the ever. Picky says, never have I ever been arrested. Jazz puts her finger down. She says she doesn't have a record. It was a high school fight between a group of kids. Katina says, never have I ever cheated on someone. Now, it wasn't clear who all dropped a finger, but Steve and Tootie did. And Tootie's like looking at Katina saying, you've never cheated? Like, at all? Chris says, never have I ever had a threesome. Tootie drops his finger. Katina says, you've had one? He's like, of course. They run out of never have I evers, and Tootie says, don't y'all have any questions you want to know? They're like, it looks like you have one. Go ahead, ask it. Okay, so have you ever slept with people within the same family? Like you slept with that person, then their cousin or something? And everyone's looking like, odd question, but no. And he's like, I messed with her mom and her daughter. I mean, at this point, this was Isaac talking like he's with his boys at a bar. This is not, I'm a newlywed on my honeymoon and I just met you 2 days ago type of a conversation. So folks are trying to help him out like, but you probably didn't know they were related, right? Of course I did. And it was a great experience though. Dude, read the room. Nobody's patting you on the back for this. Isaac does not belong on your honeymoon. But wait, there's more. Then he asked, now that you're married, if your spouse asked you to have a threesome, would you jump in it? Everyone says, oh no, it's off the table. And Tootie's like, it's off the table, I guess. But if my wife offers that up, why would I deny it? Isaac, Tootie, Olajuwon, Curtis, whatever name you're going by right now, you're doing too much. Katina's like, I'm over his wild Isaac stories. Don't bring that stuff over here. It's not happening. Katina brings up the Isaac conversations he was having on the catamaran. She wanted to make it clear that she's not inviting another person into their relationship. He asked if it bothered her that he brought that stuff up in front of the other couples. She was like, well, I mean, it didn't bother me. He said, I brought up having a threesome and it didn't bother you? Okay, if you thought it would bother her, why did you bring it up? See, I'm not about these tests, Tootie. You need to stop playing games. He says that she's so easy to talk to and it's so easy to be vulnerable with her, and that he's realized that he was never able to be vulnerable because he was never with the right woman. And now he's found his queen and has deleted his Instagram for her. At the end of the night, they enter their hotel room and her married initials are spelled out in roses on the bed. Tootie is like, see, this is real. There's no more KG. He's tearing up, expressing to her about how happy he is that she's in his life and promises to be the best husband and promises to protect her. He gives her a foot massage. And then Katina's in the confessional and says, to me, he's sweet and kind and treats me very nice. I feel like I found the person that is meant for me and that I'm falling in love. And I wish every woman could feel the way I'm feeling right now. I'm so happy. Noe confesses that she cheated on someone in the past, and Steve's like, wait, you were giving me side-eye when I put my finger down. I know, but I think of you as being this angel. They both said that they were in their late teens when they cheated and didn't understand the consequences of their actions at the time, but after seeing the hurt they caused, they both swore off cheating. Later, they were swimming in the pool of Noe's insecurities, and she's giving him pecks on the lips like a 4-year-old, then says, do you like kissing me? I do. On a scale from 1 to 100. I'm closer to 100 when it's just me and you. When the cameras are around, though, your kisses are like, and he's like jerking his head in this weird motion that's not sexy, and they both start laughing. He kind of whispers in her ear, I like you a lot. You do? Okay, on a scale from 1 to 100, how much do you like me? He's like, it's between 50 and 100. Okay, Noisy, simmer down. Y'all don't know each other to be like ranking each other yet. Chris explains the activity of the data hostage, snuba diving where they go snorkeling but have some type of dome over their head. She's like, well, I'll watch you do it from the shore and you can tell me about it after. Oh, you don't want to do it? No, but you'll have fun doing it. Okay, passive aggressive. That's not the point. The point is to find something we can do together. So if you don't like my ideas, pitch in. Whew. Anyway, hostage says in the confessional, I do think this is the first time I've seen Chris with his shirt off. I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings, so I'm very careful about the words I use. I don't think he's my type physically, and I think it's okay to say that because I'm a nice person. Okay, she didn't say that part, but nothing you say about this man is okay at this point. She goes inside. It looks like she's having a private conversation with production. Based on the reflection in the mirror, there were at least 2 people she was talking to. I don't want to scuba dive. Paddleboarding was the only thing I wanted to do. The producer says, so what types of things would you want to do? She said, I don't know, like leave here? She said she's mad at her mom. She called her mom and told her that she does not want to go scuba diving with them. Paddleboarding was different because she didn't have to be next to him. Her mom's like, who cares? Like, who cares? You don't want to come off a certain type of way on TV. See, even her mom knows how her daughter gets. She said, I have literally been the nicest person. Everyone else has someone else.
Everyone else has a person, whether they are getting along or not. Having a good time, I'm stuck here. Everyone else is having a good time. I don't want to go swimming with him. I'm not happy.
But I'm a nice person. And can you tell him not to come over here? I don't like him. So it's day 4. Jazz is sitting in front of the camera explaining that Picky came at her first thing in the morning, upset because he thought she cut him off while he was talking on the catamaran about consummating their marriage. She said she didn't think that she did. Apparently it got heated and he started using poor choice of words. And if he's saying it happened, then it did, and she needs to apologize. She said, I'm not going to apologize for something that I feel in my heart that I did not do. I can only apologize for how something has made you feel, and he's not trying to hear it. His tone is disrespectful, rude, and loud. Why would I want to be with someone who doesn't know how to have a civil conversation? I don't want to be with him. I don't want to be in this marriage. I don't even want to be in the same room with him, honestly. Uh-oh, sounds like Hostage might have a roommate after all. But here's the thing. This looks like self-sabotage to me. Picky is uncomfortable being in this relationship, so he's doing what he does best, which is to pick a fight about something frivolous, and unfortunately, Jazz took the bait. Fast forward, and they're having dinner. Picky asks, do you have any expectations of me as your husband? I expect you to talk to me with respect. When you said that you felt I cut you off and got upset, I said, I'm sorry you feel that way. And you said that that was not an apology, because that just means it is what it is. That's not an apology. Yes, it is. And I'm not going to say I'm sorry I cut you off when I don't believe that's what I did. So you would be okay if I said that to you. Sorry you felt that way? Yes, because people do that. Okay, well, we're just different. No, you two were just stubborn. She's like, you want me to apologize how you want me to, and I'm not going to do that. So I'm not even going to get into the weeds of this controversy because it's stupid. And this is Picky beginning to pick her apart and attempting to find fault in silly things. You're in a group setting with 10 other people. If that's the only time someone cuts you off when you were talking, then that's a good day. He concludes that in the future, he will accept her apology no matter how she says it. But she's not happy still and brings up his bad temper and how aggressive he was towards her. He said, I do apologize for that. That's something I'm working on. That's an issue that my sisters told me, friends have told me, previous relationships have told me, the postman told me, the guy at the car wash told me, this kid in the elevator told me, the clown at the circus told me. I said, goddamn, man, fix it already. It's something I'm working on and something I'll have to nip in the bud when we get back to Boston. Dude, you allegedly took all this time off from dating to work on yourself. What did you do? Why are we still sifting through the same mess you always stir up? And how far in the pit of despair do these people have to get before an expert steps in? So Mark tries to explain to Karen that because of her bad behavior, he wants to pull back a little and take things more slow. She says, then don't marry a stranger. Touche, Karen, touche. He's basically saying that he wants their pace to be more organic and slow it down to allow room for organic growth instead of rushing. She says, why? Well, slow and steady wins the race. I don't want to get too lovey-dovey because so many things are going on and we need to flow organically. She tells him it's confusing because he's the one that wanted to jump all in. I can slow down, but I will pull back, like way back. There's no in between for me. If you want to be less, then you need to stop clogging up the toilets and farting with the door open. You're giving me full frontal. If you want me to be less, then you need to take that note for yourself. Duly noted. She's not wrong. To the confession cam, she's pissed. She's like, why would you plan a romantic dinner to tell me you want to pull back? Why did we consummate our marriage? Oh, you don't have a problem saying it now. If this is your idea of a romantic dinner, then never plan one again for me, ever. I get what they're both are saying. He's freaking out because of her behavior, but she's like, you've been moving this relationship along just as fast as me, even after the bad behavior, like sex and all. So now all of a sudden you want to slow down? Now, according to Karen on After Party, she said they had sex not long before this conversation. Now in the room, she's being passive aggressive. She says, I don't want to talk to you right now. Thanks for the romantic dinner. Then she says it again. I don't want to talk to you right now. But she can't help herself but to keep talking. You said all day about how great I am. Then say at dinner, you want to slow down. We can start from the beginning. Hi, nice to meet you. I'm Karen. Would you like to take me on a date? Here's my number. Give me a call and ask me out. She says, feel free to step out. He walks out. She says, how do you not know better, you stupid idiot?